What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining me. It's me, Johan Francis from CoachJohanCSCS.com, and this is Foods for Fasting. This is your meal planning for a relative intermittent fast, where I go through all of the foods that you'll need to eat when you are on an intermittent fast. We'll go through the reasons you'd want to be one in the first place. Again, I'm Johan Francis from CoachJohanCSCS.com, and this is a pro dev course for you guys to get more professional advice. And like I mentioned, we're talking about intermittent fasting. Okay? So a brief story. I remember I was working at the gym, and one of my friends was training with me, and I was training two of my clients, and he suggested to them in the middle of a workout that they get on an intermittent fasting program. I was stunned. That he would suggest that you not eat in order to lose weight. One of them really wanted to lose weight. She was pretty heavy, right? And I was shocked, but then I thought more about it, and I thought about the way athletes' bodies are. Athletes are constantly burning more fat than non-athletic folks at rest, which got me thinking why that is. Why intermittent fasting is not a diet, and why it might actually help you and maybe your trainees, if you're a coach, get back into a weight loss pattern and make them more aware of the foods that they're eating and have a better relationship with their hunger. And that's because you have to plan your meals. Okay, right here, you guys. Planning your meals always has more benefits than not planning your meals. Okay? Always. And intermittent fasting, it forces you to kind of plan ahead. Learning to deal with your hunger is a positive thing. So that's why we choose intermittent fasting, okay? Know that ad lib, right? One day is called an ad lib, okay? When you eat normally, it's ad lib. What we want to do is we want to trade times where we eat anything, ad lib, for times where we fast, in order to keep our weight down, but keep our performance and muscle up. When we just lose muscle, that's called a diet. We don't advocate losing muscle in order to drop weight, ever. Quality coaches don't do that. Okay, so I am just going to go over broad strokes, not every word on the slides. If you need to pause, I invite you to do it. But the idea is that insulin drops, free fatty acid mobilization increases after about 3 to 4 to 5 hours up until 18 hours of fasting. So there are two types of fasting, you guys. We want to do either an alternate day fast or a timed fast. Now there are other ways to do it, but these are the only two ways that I trust you guys will do. I see you guys in the best light. In order for me to give you the best advice, you got to do one of these two ways to fast. The other ways are aggressive, and they don't assist you if you're an athlete or if you exercise a lot, which is what you should be doing. Alternate days, you're going to do an ad lib day and a fast day. We'll talk more about how to do that later. And with a timed fast, right, you basically spend 16 hours not eating as much as you would. The depreciated ways of fasting, right? So there's a lot. If you type in intermittent fasting, you're going to get all these advice about how to do it, when to do it. I want you guys to know that there are some depreciated ways, and that includes full day fasting, where you don't eat anything for a full day. And that's because over time, the benefits that you would get, they diminish, and your body starts breaking down amino acids. Things like, and I'll reference a lot of these articles for you, things like nitrogen start to appear in your urine, and nitrogen is the fundamental kind of building block of protein. You don't want that to happen. Okay? We want to stay on a long-term approach to eating, and that's why we can do it. IF is intermittent fasting. Okay? Athletes already do this because they work already with lower blood glucose, and they're used to it. If you're not an athlete, meaning you are not used to working out 5 times a week for many days and months straight repeatedly, This is going to be a challenge for you. Doesn't mean you can't do it, but you're going to have to work extra hard to stay on top of it. Don't worry though. I have your back. And I'll give you a nice meal plan that you will be able to follow to get to the next step. So as I mentioned, we're going to go over it, okay? Alternating day, 1 for 1, right? I'm going to do a deep fast on, say, day 1, right? Maybe it's a Monday, whatever. And the next day, I'm going to go back to ad lib. Well, I need to know what my A base is, my adjusted base for exercise. I'm going to do 40%. I'm going to eat 40% of that number. So let's say that adjusted base calorie, right, which you can find on my website, coachjohanscscs.com, and check out the calculator, is 2,700. I'm going to eat 40% of that, and that's going to bring you to about 1,100 or 1,000 or something around there, okay? Well, guess what? That's a 40% intake. Below that, however, we start to go underneath 1,100. I don't want you guys to do that. I've seen many dietitians accidentally prescribe people to eat 900, 1,000, 800 calories, and it never works for long, especially with athletic exercisers and active. Don't do it. If you're under 150-ish pounds and you're trying to lose weight, intermittent fasting is not, I repeat, not for you. And this is why, because the math does not work out. Okay? So just know that 40% is going to be the deepest fast that I want you guys to work with if you're 150 pounds. All right, moving to the next one is the 16-8. And I know I'm going really fast. We'll get more detailed later and we'll actually slow down a bit, okay? But this is better for anybody to try today. And it's better because it allows for your workouts, okay? It allows for workouts, okay? You get to, and I want you guys to know, we are looking to maintain ratios. So we're not going to go off the hinge and be like, okay, you're eating 1,100 calories, make sure that 900 is carbohydrates. No. We still maintain our ratios, those percentages. Back to 16-8, you're either going to skip breakfast and lunch and start later in the day for eating, or you're going to skip the late day snack and dinner. But this is good because it includes 8 hours of sleep, and most people choose one or the other. Let's start with the alternating fast, and let me explain to you guys, or dissuade you, right, if you're the hard-headed type, from getting into this 1,100 calories. Imagine one of the heavier people that you know in your life. It doesn't matter how tall they are. Well, it does. If they're like really tall, then this matters a lot. Like LeBron James does not apply, right? Cam Newton doesn't apply. But if you have someone in your life that's 270 pounds, and maybe they're overweight too, right? A lot of body fat on them, more than 30%, right? And they do not work out, okay? This is the deepest fast they're going to try, is a 40% fast. They're still only going to eat 900 calories. And here in this red zone, this is where I do not want you guys to be. That's the lowest. And that's for someone who's 270 pounds. Let's say you are active and you're 200, 150 pounds, man, woman, relatively, short, not super tall. Look, okay, you're going to probably consume 40% fast, anywhere from 1,200 to 1,000 calories per day, and that includes workouts, okay? That includes workouts. And why I put this here is because I want you guys to see that if you adjust your workout and you don't burn something like 900 calories per day, you burn less, and you're 150 pounds, right? If you burn less than 900 calories, you're okay with this type of a fast, with a 50% fast, but not for a deeper fast, okay? Not for a deeper fast. Or if you're heavier and you don't burn this much, 900, if you burn 800, 700, 600, you'll barely make it with a 1200 calorie fast. In other words, the heavier you are, you can deep fast and work out less. If you're more average weighted, you can deep fast only if you work out to burn more than 900 calories. If you don't, and you don't burn that much, intermittent fasting is not for you. Essentially, these are the lowest. So 40% at 150 is the lowest. And that's if you're very, very active, that you'll need to work with on an intermittent fast. This does not describe you, right? You don't want to try this because it's going to limit your performance gains. Okay? I'm going to let that sink in for a little bit. I'm going to continue on, but I want to keep you guys safe and healthy. If we are looking for an alternating day fast, we're going to consume 40, 50, or 60% of our total adjusted base. All right? But never below 1100. Here's some keys. We want to eat sugar earlier in the day, and this is essentially, give or take, the ratios I want you guys to follow. Okay, you can adjust the ratios according to what you need and the type of workouts you're involved with more often than not. That's fine with me, right? But that's generally where I want you guys to be, okay? Right around there. This avoids binging, which is anathema to this type of diet, and we can do it in 3 meals. So look, if we go to 50%, all we're changing is that we're going to add more carbohydrates in orders of about 15 grams. And 8 grams of protein per day, right? And maybe a snack. And if we go up to a 60% fast, to where we're eating 60% of our calories, look at this. We add a little bit more of everything. Down there at the bottom on this blue bar, you can, well, you'll see, right? You'll see exactly what you can add back in on an alternating day deep fast. And so here it is, the nitty-gritty, the meal plan. If you need me to customize this for you and tell you exactly which foods to eat, you're going to go to the website, you're going to hit contact, and we're going to talk meal plan. I can have something whipped up for you in a day. But if you want to, then this is why I'm going to give you the broad strokes. Okay? This is called a food substitution. It's like a level 2 food substitution. So on 40% days, you're going to have 3 meals, right? And here we see it's at 9 a.m., 9 p.m., right around those times, and maybe 3 p.m. So again, these are just general times. They're about 6 hours each. In that 6 hours, guys, increase fatty acid, decrease of insulin, increase in glucagon. Basically, your body is wanting to break down and mobilize fat, spare protein, right? And get you ready for more working out. The longer we wait into a 24-hour or even 36-hour fast, all of those gains start to erode. But within 6 hours, it's still it's an early fasted state. That's what happens. So we're going to look for 400, 200, and 500 calories respectively. We're going to look for fruits here, more fiber here, and more protein at your dinner. Again, you guys, go to the website if you want to download this. In red, you'll see the changes that we occur when we have a 50% fat or fast when we want to increase. So let's say 40% was kind of brutal, and you want something a little bit less of an edge. You're going to try the 50% deep fast on your alternating style fast. Okay? And remember, this one was primarily for athletes. 100 more calories are going to be added in the form of trail mix, right? Cold press, with a little bit of protein. I'm always thinking of salads. I really am, because salads are quite modular, really, as foods. You can add stuff to them very easily. You can add protein in the form of garbanzo beans, pumpkin seeds, and hard-boiled eggs, kidney beans, and you can add in cheese, and you can make them taste good, and basically adjust exactly how many calories you want, okay? Here in the third meal, you're going to add in something with a lot of starch in it, right? Hot bowl of ramen would be nice, even a cold bowl of ramen, something with noodles or starches. And lastly, 60%. The only addition is this workout, okay? Hopefully we get a workout in when we have this much freedom, okay? Then we're going to add more protein. And we're going to do that especially after our workout, all right? And I do want you guys to consider working out on those days where you are fasting. With this style of fast, it is definitely okay for you to work out. If you did a full deep fast, you would not be working out on those fasting days because your gains are going to be liquefied. They're going to be completely nullified. So why would you do it? So here we go. Moving into the 16-8 fast, you get to actually eat. You can actually eat those, 2,000 calories. It's just going to be within 8 hours of each other. And what you can do is eat 3 hours apart. You can snack, okay? But we do want to maintain our ratios. You want to make sure you sleep great because I literally just talked to somebody today who was trying a diet, which this is before I met her, and me and her other trainer collaborated, and she was trying to diet, and she would wake up in the middle of the night hungry. That's actually more common than you think it is. She was trying so hard not to eat because, she wasn't following a plan like this, that she woke up hungry in the middle of the night. Like, not worth it, you guys, right? Okay. So let's say it's early morning. You're going to go on about your day. You had 7 hours of great sleep. You're not going to eat early in the morning. You could, however, have a snack, a wheat grass shot. Any type of fibrous shot. So you're going to go to the cold press store. You're going to ask them for a shot, right, in a little cup of wheat germ or wheatgrass. That is going to set you for the morning. Now, your hunger pangs will go off. All that ghrelin in your body will circulate and demand that you eat, which is why this particular methodology, method 1 in this case, I am not for as much as I am the other method. So you guys are going to figure out that I'm more for the second type of fast period. Like one type of fast out of all 4 that we mentioned today, or 5. And you can go ahead and take a look at the differences here. One thing that you might notice is that you can swap in the snack before the meal here. But again, this is the timing that we want to achieve, right? Notice that we want most calories towards the tail end of the day, and this is probably where I would fit in a workout, right around here when I'm mostly fueled. In fact, I want that 50% calories because as it gets into 6, 7, 8, and you're getting really hungry, and you're going to have your wheat germ, something with fiber in it, because fiber doesn't have any calories, or you're going to drink a little bit of water, right? Your hunger pangs, right? They're going to kick in. So what you probably want to think about is eating as late as possible. And guess what? You can ad-lib and eat normally. Normal calories for what you did that day, including your expenditure. And this is great. Teaches you to be at ease with your hunger, teaches you to be okay with being hungry, and it teaches you to plan ahead for your eating. And that's it, you guys. That is the rundown on the 2 types of intermittent fasting with some suggestions on exactly what foods to eat for fasting. And I want you to get a personalized meal plan if that suits you. Go to the website, coachjohanscscs.com. Click at the top. Or you can just join me on Facebook at Run the Change, Coach Johan CSCS. Till the next time, just try this plan. Let me know how it works out. Stay up.